Hey everyone, how you doing? Okay, so I figured I should start putting out smaller videos just for fun, and this is one of them. Specifically on how easy it is to break BFN maps. I feel like most of you know that the shooter games in general are not very stable. I mean, come on, you could do this in Garden Warfare 1's downloading demo. Seriously, how did PopCap not see this? But really, that pales in comparison to some of the stuff you could do in BFN. Here's just a few examples that I know of in one video, mostly revolving around exploits. So starting in Giddy Park, there are several that you can just access immediately. One resides in Dave's Manor, where if you play as Acorn and call Oak just right on this picture frame near Rux's Emporium, you'll be able to glitch through this wall. Pretty damn cool, though you can't do much in this open space, mostly just walk around a little. The same goes for the other exploit, which is in this secret gnome area. Here you play as someone like Imp and basically let your imagination run wild with how far you get. This one is also limited, but it breaks the immersion of you being near Giddy Park, which is pretty funny. There is an exploit on PS for Zombicide, but I personally don't know how to get it to work. All you need to know is that it exists. Moving on to some of the campaigns, because it is hilariously easy to break the game in some instances, we'll start with light stuff revolving around Brainium. This upgrade honestly deserves a video on its own explaining how it can break sequences and stuff, but for now, we'll just discuss some of the fun oddities you can witness. It's mostly in Weirding Woods where you'll find the typical shooter game out-of-bound tropes, like one-way clouds and a lack of deco just outside of the playable area. Though I do find it interesting how you can also get into some really scuffed spots too, like climbing this abandoned train. Huh, okay then. But where things really get juicy in these campaigns in particular has to be Mount Steep. And if any of you know where I'm going with this, then you'll know this spot pretty well. So there are two massive out-of-bound exploits that you can get in this one spot, believe it or not. One of these is so big that I genuinely cannot get enough footage to show it all off. And the other is this. Yes, in the boss arena, you can literally walk out of bounds. It's not hard to do at all, and this area is accessible by every character, so how did PopCap miss this? Now, this exploit is fun, but there's not too much to it. You're fairly restricted in where you can go, but then again, the boss arena is fairly small. But there is something you can do here, which is very funny. See, this knight is normally pretty annoying to take down, but because this area right here isn't technically counted as out of bounds, you can just hop on and off this little island to avoid taking most damage from the boss, which is just wow. Amazing boss fight. As for the other out of bounds exploit here, this time you'll be using Acorn in the area before it, specifically calling Oak in this spot right here. If you're positioned just right, you can essentially enter the perilous void of Mount Steep. This is what lies beyond the mountains, just a canyon of barely textured assets. Now, I've seen some footage of people exploring this seemingly endless expansive area, but I myself can only go so far before I get stuck. So if you've ever gotten somewhere cool with this, let me know. Now, I do know other out-of-bound glitches, but there's actually some pretty harmful ones for MPs, so instead of discussing those, I'll cover one little piece of trivia you might not have known. Garlic drones, parrots, dandelions, and yeti imps can all be used to get past some invisible walls in Giddy Park. Why? I assume this has to do with how they're coded, but generally that doesn't matter. It's just fun. So yeah, the game is broken. Thank you to my extra YSI channel members, those being Dan B, Nicholas Vankowski, and Wapfa, and alongside my other channel members, thank you all for supporting my content. I deeply appreciate it. I'm gonna go break the game more, so peace.